Okay, last recording was like a 30-minute yap, so I'll try to do it a bit shorter. So, the P1 we learned pretty well. We adjusted with getting the instagrips onto a demi-R, and then adjusted hitting the second arrow on demi-R, and yeah, just gotta hit Morium more often with the right arrow. Of course, we can save the pull, but yeah, let's just be more consistent with that. The P1's fine. So, the best thing to do is learn how to do P2 and P3 a bit more efficiently so we can kill the boss. I did some adjustments to the note, especially on the aspect of the end thingies. I had them initially at the start of the aspect of the end cast, like the note itself. So I think there were some places where the notes didn't really correspond to the mechanic currently happening, and like the upcoming mechanics note was maybe happening a bit earlier, and there was some confusion, at least on my end. So I just put them later into the cast, and hopefully there should be less overlap. So let's just look at this. I'm gonna try to be a bit more efficient on the yap, but it's still gonna be a yap. Just to drill in all the stuff we need to get better at this boss. Okay, Rage go back, his squad goes over. There's a bit of a debate of whether we would grip instantly or after the obelisks. So, we're gonna grip instantly just for 100 CDs, get the funnel shit, whatever it is. And obelisk bait, we're gonna... So, with the boss being always basically on the ring here, if we use melee, make sure that, like, we bait so that then the edge of the obelisk circle is, like, here on the ring. Then the adds are always going to be, like, just stacked on the boss, and we don't have to move with the boss and adjust. So if we do this bait properly, don't have to move much with the boss, then cleave is going to be more efficient. Then also it's going to be easier to hit the arrows on the adds because they're not going to have to knocked in or whatever. Yeah. For the ranged, always bait to the right, so the rest of the group can move left to bait the orbs to drop in the corner. And if we are more efficient with the space, then we can, like, move a bit more to the right, make the floor a bit clearer. And of course, we don't have simulacrums to hit in this set, but there was some... I think there's an example later where it's a bit annoying how, like, if the range is a bit too forward, melee is a bit too far to the back, then you're gonna have to, like, step through the other obelisk circle to fire at the simulacrums. It's better if we just, as a rule, just, if you're ranged, try not to go, like, there's this, like, center ring, and then, of course, the outside ring. Just don't go inward more than, like, halfway here. And then there should be, like, space here. Always. The dropping pulls. We'll get the first Silver Strike arrows. I'm going to talk about... So the first person getting hit only has, like, the arrow on them, and the second person has the bow and arrow. So there's a couple of ways to do this, or to have, like, rules for this. I think the simplest thing is probably just that just use eyes. Okay, that's not really a rule. The first person to be hit... Actually, no. The simplest rule probably is that the bow and arrow person is always on the inside of the room and the other person is on the outside, because I feel like some people are not going to realize which ad is going to be aiming at them. So yeah. Just hit the boss. It is more important to hit the boss than the ads. And then there is also some talk about whether these people with the lines should extend their lines for the people with, like, debuffs to cleanse them if they're taking a lot of damage. I think it is just simpler that the people that are being hurt feel like they need to get cleansed, They just go between the arrows, go into melee, like go on the boss, and then go out. I think healing's been fine. That we don't need to think about it too much. But if you feel like you're in danger, just go on the boss. And here's the first simulacrum sets. Yeah. Hit the simulacrums. Here, it's nice. There's some space in between. If, like, the simulacrum was over there for the melee, then they could stand here. Very nice that there is space. And then the pull drops happen at the same time. These guys are moving. This guy has a bow and arrow. He's going on the other side of the boss. I feel like if double range get it, yeah, maybe that is the rule, that the bow and arrow person just goes through. And then if it's a melee, you just have to use eyes. Okay, so double grip. Triple grip. And see, the edge of this obelisk is right where the boss is, so they don't have to move. And the ads are just on top. Very nice. Hit the simulacrums, and then orbs. Orbs. I'm actually not sure if this person that has the obelisk can get the orb. Probably it's coded that way, that they can't get it, because it would be fucking tragic to spawn the orb there. Maybe they're just lucky every single time. So let's get good luck. Again, move towards the right. Melee goes to the middle for the obelisk baits. Here, I think they don't do it. Oh, they did. See, nice. Movement. Okay, these always fire, then you get orbs. People with the secondary orbs stay, and everybody else gets over. That was 430, yeah. And then lines through the boss again. See, that guy just like went in between. He went in between, and I don't think there's any like thoughts about like adjusting for the other people. It's just find a way to cleanse. So here, these people haven't moved, but I guess in this platform it doesn't really matter. But see, not everyone has come here for the baits. Now we finally get the mechanic. So arrow goes through the boss, other person, or bow and arrow goes through the boss, other person stays. Yes. Now, this is the example I was talking about. Of course, here it doesn't matter. Boss is at full energy. They're not. It's going to despawn anyways. But, like, this was happening to us a bit last raid. Where, like, melee had to go, like, either through or, like... It's a bit... Yeah, it was a bit hard to hit some of the angles. And then range probably also had some awkward angles. And see there, he, like, almost just fucking shot it through the entire raid. Kind of sus. Intermission, very difficult mythic mechanic. Out and in. And then we're baiting on the right side here. Okay, so here, if we don't have the meta taunt, it's completely fine. We can adjust. But melee and range both still break instantly. On the aspect of the end. If Von calls that he doesn't have meta, or he's dead, or something, we adjust. So Alex will stand here on the edge, so he can leap over while still being in a circle. So let's just look at the mechanic. Like, they're not going to have it here, but I'm just talking about the exception if we don't have it. So for that aspect at the end, if we don't have it, Alex should be here so that the edge of the circle is still over here, like for the next set. Then he can leap over once this spawn the ad, not before. And then he can just wait here for the mini boss to spawn and taunt it, and then break when everybody's healthy. Does it spawn? Yeah. So it basically will spawn somewhere here, depending on where the boss is, of course. We can maybe make it a rule that the boss is held here until that spawn and then goes to the corner. And then he breaks that circle, of course, if he has it there, if needed. Yeah. And then here is the Hunter CD sets. According to guides and logs and shit, it's mainly just Hunters that kill this. Main target Varellus. Simulacrum dies passively. Of course, like multi-daughters, dots. But if you need a second target like Warlock Havoc, hit Varellus, not the Simulacrum. Yes. So Hunters basically just kill them. And then next set, most or every range will hit it because no Hunter CDs. So, okay, future me here. Just gonna interject here as I'm gonna talk about the positioning here. I know we have this in the raid plan. The boss is here where I say we're gonna keep it, but most people keep the boss here. If we keep the boss here, then range here. If we keep the boss here, then range here. Okay? Yes. We were talking about... Actually, I'll just go back when he's looking that way. We were talking about... Or there's discussion about like where to stand here as the range. I don't think there's any reason to already be over there. I think this is like a fine indicator of where the range could be for stacking in F-Flow or whatever. More efficient evoker healing. Yes. Alleria doesn't have to be all the way in the corner. It's just away. I think here, this point here is a good indicator of where to stand. Just for more efficient AoE healing. And then you get the circles. They're going to spawn here. The rest stay behind. And then this is the one where we have... I think I have Bob Taunt in here. I think... I don't think it matters which one's Bop or which one's Bubble Taunts. One or the other. So Unicorn does that. And then there is a... Same for the... Like every immune sets. There is a chance, 1 in X, which is the amount of range, chance that the Taunter gets selected for, of course, both the tank one, because it's the active threat target, but also for the range circle. So sometimes we might be lucky and only get 1 ring here, or 1 tether here. And that'll be cool. But it doesn't change the way we do the mechanic. So, as what then happens, and these have still not gone off, we do not break these tethers until they have popped. Check raid, health, melee goes first, then range, then healthy. And then here, we go to the tip, we will have this gate here. Now this is going to be a short gate. It is very important everybody stands on the gate. This is a very important sequence. Everybody stands on the gate. Of course, those people not yet, but he comes onto the gate in this 1.5 seconds here. Now, the order here is going to be tank break first, then melee, then ranged. So, this is going to look a bit scary. It will be scary. It's completely fine. We might be, like, visually, we're standing under this. We might get a tick of the pool. It's alright. So, straight away, when this happens, it is very important. Alex just leaps out, breaking instantly. And then everybody is gating here. The people with the tether still are waiting here. Melee goes when healthy. I think we have a darkness here, probably. Assigned. And then range goes when it's safe. Obelisk people, this is good spread here. And every single range, I think, just hit this set. We have no CDs here. So just hit DBR, passive cleave, Simulacrum. Boss goes in the corner. Maybe melees hit the boss. Something like that. Obelisks don't hit each other. And yeah, they're again, like on here. I think that's a good spot. Good spot. Yeah, that's like the really precise sus set. So next one's much easier. So they get circles. Again, the other ones bait over here. And then everybody goes to the middle ring, basically. And here's another immune set. What do we have? Bubble, I guess. Yeah. So, Bubble Taunt. Hopefully we get the RNG. If we don't, it's completely fine. We wait for these to go off. Wait for these to go off. And then melee goes. Melee goes now. And then range when healthy. So, here is another I guess there are feathers there so you can use them, but might despawn. I don't know. Yeah. Here, very important that We wait for this Devouring Cosmos to go off before anybody moves over. That's the only thing that needs to happen, because then it makes it ineligible for the Simulacrum to spawn here. Obelisk people, I mean, you can come over. No need to wait over there. Actually, yeah, we don't want people to wait over there because Aspect of the End happens right here. We want everybody to be over by the time this cast has gone off. We don't have any immunes here, so we're getting all three. And I think this is an example where, yeah, I think a Warlock is over there. And he does maybe need a grip. Maybe. Well, we'll see. He gets a circle on that side, and he can't break it. He probably dies. I think it's this one. It goes melee. Into ranged, into tank, but he's not going. Does he die? Yeah, he dies. Well, good job, range win. And then tank. So, last ad's gonna spawn. Hopefully, they pull the ad a bit faster than here. I think that's why they take so much damage here, because it takes so long for Morium to move. Yeah, that's why so much damage. So here, Hunter CD's up again, yeah. So Morium should die to Hunters again, but depending on how low the boss is, like, maybe everybody's just sending to reduce the damage on the raid, and then big chilling. Actually, let's just look at the corner right there. Maybe they were too far into the... they were actually kind of forced there because of these obelisks. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, they had to move a bit more inwards because of those obelisks. Yeah. And it took a while for Morium to get out of range, so everybody's taking so much damage. Here's just when you send absolutely everything that you have left. Absolutely everything. Here, I think they don't even do the set. Of course, we're prepared to do it, but everybody goes to the ring here. Get Aspect of the End. Their boss is so low that they don't do this. But if our P2 isn't as like a clean of a push, then we might have to do this. So wait for these to go off. This is a slow set. I think it's melee, ranged, and tank. I don't remember what it said there. I don't remember whatever. In melee, go first, then ranged, then tank, and then everybody after that goes to the tip right here. And Devouring Cosmos happens. We just have to wait here, kill the boss before Devouring Cosmos and the next tethers kill us. And I think Obelisk's also there. So yeah, that is the DPS check. Yeah, yep, over.